Welcome to the Noon Show. Soccer's in session live. We're doing it every single day that there is playoff stuff going on, and it's been really fun to wander around the state and get everybody acquainted with everybody else as the brackets and the teams and the numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller. I admit it, I started the Open a couple seconds early because the plan is we're going to catch up with a half dozen coaches here from noon to 1 o'clock, get you ready for semifinal Thursday and a little bit of semifinal Friday. And since we are officially in a no dilly, no dally zone, first stop, Cherokee Bluff and Heath Padgett. Coach, thanks for dropping by.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
So am I getting you out of class or lunch or both?
A little bit of both today. I appreciate it.
Okay. So like I said, blame the show and blame me. It's like, well, where were you? It's like, no, I had to talk about the match. All right.
Not at all.
Coming into today, for those that do not know how things are laying out in the bracket, you get to host. And it's going to be a road trip for your friends from Lovett. They're going to drop by Cherokee Bluff tonight in Class Quad A girls for those filling out your brackets. What's study hall been like getting ready for Lovett?
Listen, they're number one for a reason. They're a very good team all over the field. They are solid in every position, and they've got a lot of speed in a couple of places. Again, like I said, I think they're 17 or 18-0 at this point. They've allowed 7 or 8 goals on the season. That's what's put them in the number one spot. So that's what we've been getting ready for.
21 goals. You've given up an average of 1 goal per match at 17-4. You ran through region at 10-0. What did you learn about yourself in your non-region schedule, season 1, and your region schedule, season 2, that got you ready for your playoff run so far here in season 3?
Yeah, so I think our girls for the last few years, again, this is my first year with the girls as well. In the region, we only gave up 6 or 7 goals in the region. I think we scored, I don't even remember, 60 some odd goals. Our region's not easy. We have the top 2 or 3 teams are very solid. We have one on the other side in North Oconee that is a very good team. As our non-region schedule goes, I like to schedule very tough non-region opponents. We've had the likes of Mill Creek and Johns Creek and the teams that have been playoff bound in the bigger classifications. And I think they've done the job at getting us ready for what we're about to see.
18 goals scored in the first 3 matches of the playoffs, and the number of goals allowed was this.
Yes, sir.
At number 0. What's it been like to see your defense respond the way that they have?
As a former goalkeeper, that 0 on the other side means a lot more to me than what the other side looks like. Our defenders, we have 2 girls that are college bound, and Ellie Satolovich. We've got Ashley Scott, who is a freshman, and we throw in Carson DeMars, who's going to Wofford next year. Our back line is as solid as any in the state. Emily in the goal has been fantastic for us. Our outside backs and Naomi and Ashley Cook have been absolutely phenomenal over the last couple of months. So, it's not just us going to score those goals. We have to get the ball there, and our back line plays the game very, very well.
Rey Torres coming up in just a little bit from Columbus to talk about things on the boys' side for his semifinal Friday. Right now, catching up with Heath Padgett and what's going on at Cherokee Bluff. What's the response been like there in the community, Cherokee Bluff, a newer program across the board, a newer school up there? What's the response been like with the program, and what's the response been like during this run?
6 years old and, going to a couple Final Fours on the girls' side at this point. A couple years ago, they came up a little short, I think, against Westminster, and last year against Lovett in the second round. All we have had is support. This is the first time we've hosted a Final Four match here on this campus in any sport. So the buzz around here is pretty intense. Everybody is excited. I've heard the stadium should be pretty packed tonight.
All right, so one final question for you. When things are going well for Cherokee Bluff on offense and defense, what should folks be seeing without giving away any state secrets?
What they should be seeing is the other team chasing the ball. If they're watching the game, if things are going well for us, we are very relaxed on the ball. We do what we want, and we make the other team do what we want them to do. So the ball moves around the field very well. Our girls play the game together, and they play the game of soccer. It is a very nice brand.
Looking forward to it. Love it at Cherokee Bluff tonight on the girls' side, getting ready for a semifinal Thursday when it comes to life in Quad A on the girls' side. Heath Padgett, head coach of Cherokee Bluff, hanging out with us. Bat and lead off on the Noon Show, Coach. Good luck tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Soccer's in Session Live.
Thank you so much. And again, thanks for having us.
There we go. That's Heath Padgett. And so hot tag. We're going to do the hot tag. We're going to do this literally bang, bang. One out, one in. Time to go to Columbus, catch up with Rey Torres, and it's time to talk about things on the boys' side. Coach, thanks for dropping by. Soccer's in Session Live.
Hey, John, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right, so when it comes to your season and what you've been able to accomplish this year, if you and I had caught up before the season started, and I was to tell you right now that you would be top 75 in the country in some polls, top 30 in Georgia across all classifications, you'd be 15-3-2. You would have run through region, and you're right now getting ready for a semifinal. What would you have told me before the season started if I told you that was what it was going to be like?
Well, I would have told you that that's, kind of what we've expected. I think that's what we deserve. It's very similar to what we've been doing in the past couple of years now. So honestly, we know we're going to work. And so had you told me that, I would have taken it. That's what we want.
When it comes to what you've been able to build there right now, for those following along in your brackets, it's AAA low right, if I could get my upper plate to work. You got a matchup coming up with Oconee County in short order. When things are going well, obviously you can look at your defense because, once again, you've run the table. You have not given up a goal in the postseason. Big win against Hepzibah round one. 3-0 over Mary Persons in kind of a Middle Georgia versus West Georgia rivalry in number 2. Then you beat Coahulla Creek out of Dalton in that hotbed up in Northwest Georgia. What has it been about your defense that has been so special this year?
The boys have, they've really stepped up to the plate. This year, our back line is completely new. None of those guys that are playing this year played last year for us in the back line. So going in, at the beginning of the season, we really wanted to work with them to make sure that they understood their assignments. And, we took our lumps at the beginning, and it's just clicking at the right time. We've had a lot of situations where guys had to step up in other parts of the field to make sure that the load on these guys was a little bit lower, right? We talk about the back line, but also we have a freshman goalkeeper that played most of the season. We had an injury to one of our strikers, and we had to take our, Ryan, who's played in goal for us the past, 3 years. We had to put him up top, and he scored goals, and our freshman goalkeeper, Gabe, came up and, performed. So everybody's really been pulling weight all over. And so it's a across the board effort, and, we're happy to see it, obviously.
How long did it take for everything to get to full song, where the new faces that were coming in, the underclassmen that were integrating, how long did it take for everything to get together and be in one piece? Or are you still trying to figure some of the pieces out here with this situation here coming up on a semifinal?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think we're still trying to figure it out, and it goes game by game. No game is the same, right? So we might have figured it out for our last game, but the next opponent, it's always going to be different. So you have to make adjustments. So those are things that these kids, not having experience in the back line, like I said, they have to learn how to adapt quickly. So every game we go into it and understanding that it's not going to be easy, but we trust the guys to be able to figure it out quickly. So yeah, we don't have it perfected yet by no means, but the guys have been doing it all season. So I think they can figure it out, whatever we need them to do.
And at the same time, I know that you can learn things about yourself with the wins that you have on the board, but you can learn just as much in a loss than you can, I think, in a win or in a distanced victory. Two of your losses against Oconee County in Watkinsville and against McIntosh. What did you learn about yourself playing up in classification against those two schools?
Yeah, well, with McIntosh, it was really interesting. We learned that the players do have the mentality, the character, the grit to play against a still undefeated quality program as they are every single year. And so we went into that game and we were tied 1-1 until the last 3 minutes of the game, and we gave up 2 goals, and we definitely just didn't keep our heads. So that's something that we learned there. We have the quality, the talent, but we absolutely have to step up and perform. And then with Oconee, we went up there, and it was a tough game. They're a great team, and we really showed that we can compete even if we don't have, say, our full strength squad or whatever. We have guys that we can rely on. Although the scoreline doesn't reflect that, I thought the boys that did step up and played, they gave it their all, and that type of attitude is something that's really good to see in the team across the board.
when it comes to Columbus High School, I know that a lot of folks have gravitated initially when it comes to athletics to baseball. Baseball has been one of the hallmarks there at Columbus for a long time. Basketball, and now you at soccer adding to it. What's the response been like in the community with everything that Columbus has been able to do on the FUTBOL front when it comes to the activities down there?
Yeah, it's been really exciting because as our program has kind of grown and started achieving more and more, the community has started to respond to it more and more. We always get good crowds at our games, and everybody's excited to watch us play. Even if they don't understand the game, they go out and they love to be there and support and be with all of their friends and just from the community in general, right? I also coach youth soccer, and so everybody's always like, congrats on the win or good luck on your next game. So everybody really gets behind what we're doing, and that's amazing.
Jason Galt coming up in a couple of minutes here to discuss what's going on with our match of the week, match day 33 for us with North Gwinnett and West Forsyth coming up later tonight. Wrapping up with Rey Torres with what's going on down in Columbus. What's study hall been like for you getting ready for a semifinal Friday? What's it been like getting ready for this another go around with Oconee County?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun. That's one of my favorite parts of the job is kind of studying ourselves, studying the opponent, working on the board and trying to figure out moving pieces around, the X's and the O's, and it's enjoyable for sure.
So let me ask you this, without giving away state secrets, unless you want to. When I sit there and I ask you, when things are going well offensively, defensively, with your game plan for Columbus soccer, what should folks be seeing if, like you said, coming out, hanging out with their friends, seeing something for the first time? How would you describe it when things are going well for you? This is what's happening with us at Columbus.
Yeah. So we like to talk about being excellent in every moment. So what that looks like for us is, the guys' maximum intensity in everything that they're doing, recovering the ball, on a break, whatever. So we try to just, put a fun performance where it's intensity is never boring. So again, that's I think what anybody would expect from us, and hopefully we can put that on display tomorrow.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for dropping by. Once again, right-hand side of the bracket. It is Oconee County visiting Columbus Class AAA boys on semifinal Friday, catching up with head coach Rey Torres. Coach, great to see you again. Good luck on the right-hand side of the bracket. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's Rey Torres. And so, once again, we believe in the hot tag. A lot of folks ask where John Galt is. I don't know where John Galt is, but I do know where Jason Galt is. Jason is hanging out with us here on the show because he's got a match tonight with some familiar folks that are going to be up there broadcasting as I sit here and point to us in the collective at SDH. Coach, thanks for dropping by this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so 19-0-2, 5-0, you blow through region. Depending on the poll that you look at, you're number 2 nationally, number 2 in the state of Georgia. How do you keep the community and the players from looking at all of those things that I just mentioned and focusing on the task at hand, knowing what you want to accomplish by the end of a season?
Well, to be honest with you, we don't talk about it. I don't bring it up to the girls. I don't say we're ranked this or ranked that. The only thing we do, and it's our very first breakdown from the first tryout day, is we always break it down on May 10th. That's been every day, every practice, like leaving the locker room before a game. It's always May 10th on 3. We break it down May 10th. That's all we've talked about. So the records, all that kind of stuff, that's great to hear you're highly ranked, but that's not the goal. The goal is to win a state championship. So that's been the focus.
Defense is giving up slightly less than a goal a match and I know that obviously that's a point of pride for you because you're looking on average margin of victory about 4-1 with the matches that you've had this season. When I mention your defense, what comes to mind?
Oh, we got a phenomenal sophomore keeper, Addie Utz. She's just done a great job. She plays at UFA, and I think she's one of the top-ranked keepers in her age group. So you got her back there in goal, and then I got Marley Raymond, who is our center back. She's also a sophomore. They play on the same club team, but she's also on the U16 national team. So yeah, she missed two of our last games, one against a rival against Lambert, because she was in Turkey playing. So so that was pretty cool. So you got her at center back. You got Kaylee Hilton, who's committed to UNC Wilmington. She's a left back for us. And then Isabella Caruso, a senior, plays right back for us. And then we got a couple other girls, Elle Larson and Danny plays outside back as well. So just a lot of experience back there. Not necessarily the oldest group. I mean, they still got a few more years left, but as far as playing high-level soccer, a lot of experience.
When it comes to your scheduling, and I like to ask coaches this when it comes to playoff time, you're hoping that season 1, your non-region schedule, sets you up for season 2, your region schedule, which you hope sets you up for season 3, where we are right now. How difficult is it for you to fill out a schedule these days, knowing that everybody's going to sit there and go, well, you know, man, West Forsyth, I mean, they're a hornet's nest. I don't know if I want to catch up with them. How difficult is it for you to find a schedule?
It is difficult just because of what you said. I mean, you have the reputation of being a pretty good program. I want to play a tough schedule every year anyway. So we try to play Westminster every year. We try to play some of the private schools because we know that's the quality we have to see. But yeah, there's a few teams that I've been playing the last few years, and this year I'm getting my schedule and you know, that they're already full. So that's disappointing because I've never been the kind of coach that runs the score up on people. Once I get 3 goals on somebody, I sub, I get everybody in. So that's why some of the results, you know, 3-1 or 4-2 or whatever, those goals a lot of times are going in when subs are in because that's just my style. I mean, I think once I get 3 goals, I feel pretty good about the game. And I think some of these teams that play us, they may not see it. They look at it just as a loss and a win. But when you play somebody at our caliber, it's going to help you out, you know, but you can't convince them of that. You know, they want to find somebody they can probably get a win with. And it's disappointing because there are some local teams, some teams close by that we could have good rivals with, or good rivalries with. But yeah, it's tough. It is tough.
So with your 2 draws, one being a 3-3 with Westminster, or 4-4 with Westminster, and 3-3 with Cambridge, what did you learn about yourself in those matchups that just sound like they were 15-round heavyweight fights that had a lot of goals in them?
Well, so the Cambridge game, we were right there. We had it won, and then we let them get back into it, and then we got a PK late, and we were able to tie it back up. And, you know, the Cambridge has been a top program in this area for the last 5 or 6 years. They're really, really good. I mean, they got the girl that's playing at FSU right now. I mean, she was on their team, and there's a lot of talent there. And they're in the Final Four this year. So they're a quality team. And in Westminster, we've never tied them or beaten them. So this was huge for us. It was a big momentum establisher for us playing that team because the fact that we scored 4 goals, but we had the game won. It was 4-3 with like 2 minutes left. And we gave a free kick up, and they were able to find the back of the net. But that, I think, really solidified our confidence this year, made us think that we had a chance to be special. Because, you know, going into it, I felt like we had a chance to be pretty good. But you never know. I mean, there's so many variables. There's injuries. There's all kinds of things happen. But getting that tie with Westminster, I think, really, really helped the girls believe that, hey, we got a chance to do something special this year.
Jason Galt, head coach at West Forsyth Wolverines, getting ready for both North Gwinnett and SDH tonight. Matchup a little after 7 o'clock on the clock. Our pregame starts about 6:45. When things are going well for you, philosophically, and like I said, I don't know if anybody from North Gwinnett is going to listen or watch or whatever, but when things are going well for you philosophically, offensively, defensively, how would you break down your style of play?
We're very direct. You know, it's funny because you watch soccer and you see all these teams possess the ball and move the ball around, and we try to do that, but for some reason, and this is going to sound strange, but with girls, I don't know if it's the way they're wired. It's hard to convince them to play the possession game, and because whenever they get the ball, they just want to go forward. They just want to go. And as a coach, you're constantly, it's almost going against their nature. You know, I know that sounds strange, but this is my observation, what I've kind of figured out in my experience of coaching. But so we play very direct. You know, it's not long ball necessarily. It's just get the ball and let our athletes run down and get it, and let's get a chance. So the philosophy is the more chances we create, the more times we put the ball in the box, chance of scoring goals go way up. So I like that style. I think it works. It's worked for us. And we're a little different formation-wise. Like I play 4 up top, and most teams don't do that. And now there's rules. We have rules. I mean, like I'm a football coach too, so I'm a big rules guy. So like our wings will have our if an outside back does something, they have to react in a certain way. And so we're definitely offensive minded, but we're still sound. We're still sound defensively. So to watch us play, I think you're going to see a lot of quality players. First touch of all these girls is unbelievable. I mean, you got girls that can settle a 30-yard pass in the air right to their feet. I mean, it's fun to watch. I mean, as a coach, I just sit back and enjoy it. I mean, I'm coaching some of the best talent in the state of Georgia. You know, it's awesome.
So what has study hall been like getting ready for North Gwinnett?
They're big and physical, you know, and you know, my girls, we're not the biggest. You know, we got a few girls decent size, but we're not overly big, but they are big and they're rough and tough, and you know, hopefully we can respond. We played North Paulding, you know, last week or on Tuesday, or Monday. And
it all runs together this time of year.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So we played them, and they were physical. They came after us, and you know, I don't know if we responded as well as we should have. You know, I want the girls to play cheat, but I want them to kind of bow up a little bit and show that they've been in the weight room as well. You know, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a physical game, and hopefully we can match their physicality.
Looking forward to it on the SDH network. Our pregame starts at 6:45, kickoff a little after 7 o'clock. Coach, thanks for dropping by here. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple hours, and looking forward to seeing a fantastic right-hand side of the semifinals on semifinal Thursday. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, that is head coach Jason Galt for West Forsyth. And so that was quick. That was a sprint. We've done really well. I mean, it's fun to catch up with all these folks and get the lay of the land when it comes to your semifinals. Let me go through the brackets and let you know what's going on, and wasting no time. You know, and I thought that I was going to be able to get into brackets, but the answer is a defiant no. You want to know why? Because I've got another coach. The round continues. Judson Hamby, coach, thanks for dropping by.
No problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, I can. You are absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
So let me ask you this. With what has been going on at Oconee County, and you know, you look at the numbers, and it's 15-1-5, 5-0 in region, top 20 in the state of Georgia in all classifications, top 40 depending on the poll nationally. If I told you that this was going to be your situation coming into a semifinal, what would you say?
I would say pretty close to our expectations for the year. I think that, you know, last year had a very successful year in regards to a lot of mix of seniors and young players. And I think from that experience this year and a lot of young freshmen that came in that really have contributed to our program, I would say that we've had a great year as far as region play and getting into it. And then I think also our challenging non-region schedules really helped kind of boost us for the kind of the run.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. I know that, and I ask this of all the coaches that make it into deep playoff runs, how did your non-region schedule set you up for region and set you up for playoffs? How did 1 and 2 help you out for season 3?
Yeah, I think going into the year, we felt like we really wanted to play teams that were going to make us find out about ourselves really quick. And I think with it, obviously, we played some really good teams that are still playing right now, Jefferson, North Oconee. We played Parkview, Mountain View. We played a team out, Oak Mountain out of Alabama, who are really good every year. I think all those teams have really helped push us to challenge as we get into the level of competing. And I think, one, it taught the young kids to grow up really quickly. But I think, two, I think overall just a belief as a team that they can compete and play with anybody. So
when it comes to that one. Yeah, so when it comes to the younger players, I know that we sit there and we say, well, they're a freshman, but they're not playing like freshmen anymore. They're playing more like a sophomore now.
Sure.
When it comes to the younger players and integrating with graduation and players moving on and so on, are you still trying to tweak things with the younger players and the new players that are integrating, whether it's new positions or what have you, or is everything at full song, do you think, and the engine's going the way that it should?
I think early on we kind of threw them in, and I think we wanted to find out because a lot of them were pretty versatile with positions. And I think from that, I think they've gained massive experience for us to trust them to be in big moments. And I would say all the kids that have contributed so far coming through the beginning of the year are still helping us a ton. But like last game, we had a JV kid come off that we pulled up that scored the game-winning goal. So I think in that aspect, you know, I think that's been big as far as kids continuing to get their opportunities.
Oconee County getting ready for a visit from Dawson County in Watkinsville. Left-hand side of the bracket as you're filling things out in Penn. AAA girls coming up here on semifinal Thursday. And I mentioned folks, and I mentioned two folks about Watkinsville and Oconee County and everything that goes on there as a community outside of Athens. I know a lot of folks may sit there and look at it as, the Georgia 53, and we'll turn right.
Yeah.
When it comes to the community, though, it is a hardcore group. I mean, it is a hardcore bunch of supporters. Doesn't matter what the sport is. It could be one-act play, and Oconee County is going to show up and support what's going on there on campus. What's it been like for you to see what it's like in Oconee County and how OC community comes and responds to everything going there in Watkinsville?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been the big thing to see and uniqueness of that. You're right. I think every sport, it's unique to be a part of a school that has high standards in every level, and as far as sports go and activities. And I think that just says a lot about the community and the support they give. And people show up. I mean, I think it could be swimming, it could be tennis, it could be whatever. And I think people show up and go, and, case in point, last night we had a massive rivalry game with lacrosse, and, over 1,000 people showed up last night for Oconee versus North Oconee in a playoff game. So I think in that aspect, I think it's been awesome. I think the support that we have for the program, the boys and the girls, every year, every game has been great. And last round for both, the boys and the girls, home and away, great crowds. So huge for us.
What's study hall been like getting ready for Dawson County?
Yeah, I would say Dawson County is a tricky one in that they've had a pretty solid year. They've got some key kids that have been, we talked about young kids. They've got young kids that are really helping them be successful this year. They got a freshman that's got 25 goals. They've got 27 goals, and I think so. I would say that our priority for them right now is focusing on making sure that those two are priority focus. And then I think overall, I think they just work hard as a group, and I think the last two rounds they've really competed to the end, and I think that's a big quality for them.
So did I get you out of class or get you out of lunchroom duty?
Out of lunchroom duty.
Okay. Last question. Go ahead and let everybody know who might be in the area. Start time, kickoff, all the stuff. Hit the promo for me so everybody knows what's going on up there in Watkinsville tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Girls soccer tonight, 3A playoff semifinal. Oconee County is going to be hosting Dawson County girls tonight at 6 o'clock kickoff.
Looking forward to it. So, Coach, it's always great to catch up with you. Thanks for coming on live here. And I'm glad I got you out of lunchroom duty. You can just kind of hang out there for another couple of minutes and sit there and go, yeah, man, it went long. I can't believe all the questions he wanted to ask the entire time.
I know.
Yeah, so tell Kurt Miller, the AD, blame Nelson. He's the one who kept me longer than humanly possible. So, yeah, tell Kurt, blame me, and just hang out there for a little bit. Good to see you, my friend. Good luck.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you what you do.
We'll catch up soon.
All right, appreciate that.
That's Judson Hamby, the head coach of Oconee County, and they've got Dawson County. Left-hand side of the bracket for you filling things out in AAA. That's where it is tonight. And so, like I said, tell the AD, yeah, man, Nelson was talking entirely too long. I don't know what happened. I just couldn't make it back in time when it came to lunchroom duty. So that is 4 coaches in the first half hour of the show. It was Heath Padgett from Cherokee Bluff of the girls match tonight. Rey Torres tomorrow, who's got Columbus in a semifinal Friday. Then it was Jason Galt from West Forsyth, and they are hosting Ryan Burkhart, North Gwinnett tonight on the SDH Network. Our pregame once again 6:45, kickoff a little after 7 o'clock, or might be right at 7 o'clock. We'll figure it out. How do you listen to the game? You ask, like this. Go to soccerdownhere.mixlr.com, mixlr.com. That's the web address. So if you want to listen to it on like your laptop or anything, you go there. But as I have, and I'll grab my phone and I'll show you how to do it with the phone. There is an app that you can download on Mixlr, Mixlr, and you can download the Mixlr app, and what you can do is listen to it that way. So as I sit here and scan my phone, iOS and Android, so I'm going to try and shield it up against what's going on. So here's the Mixlr app, and you go and the Mixlr app, Soccer Down Here, you can do a search. So Soccer Down Here on the Mixlr app, you follow us, get your notifications. When there is an event, you get your notification, it goes off. On the Mixlr app, you sit there and you go, bang, you listen to it. So that's how it is. On the Mixlr app, the Mixlr app, follow Soccer Down Here, set your notifications. You'll know when we've got a live event. Or on the web, soccerdownhere.mixlr.com, soccerdownhere.mixlr.com. And so that's how you listen to what's going on with us here at SDH. You can listen to the matchup with North Gwinnett, West Forsyth tonight. Tomorrow, semifinal Friday, and we will have as many boys coaches and as many girls coaches that want to come on to talk about their semifinals, and we'll get everything set up for the finals once again, noon on Friday, then noon on Monday. And once again, we'll carry you through. We'll try to catch up with coaches and champs and all that kind of stuff as we go here. Obviously, with less teams, shows might not be as long, but we'll be here at noon next week to let you know what's going on around the planet here in the state of Georgia as we head toward a semifinal Thursday and semifinal Friday. Tomorrow, Maddie and I will be at River Ridge. North Atlanta, River Ridge, right-hand side of the bracket. River Ridge hosting that one. North Atlanta knocked off Johns Creek. So North Atlanta, River Ridge tomorrow will be on the network as well. So that is the layout for what's going on. Now let's get into your brackets for the girls. Going all the way down to Class A D1. Class A D1 girls, and we'll go start times as we go. Mount Vernon is at Social Circle, left-hand side of the bracket, hoping to catch up with Coach Richardson in short order. Looks like she might be in about 15 minutes. Right-hand side of the bracket, Atlanta International is at Paideia. Mount Vernon shut out Metter. Social Circle beat East Lawrence. Atlanta International had to go to Barnesville to beat Lamar County in PKs 4-2. They will travel to Paideia. Paideia, no problem with Bleckley County. Class A D2 girls. Left-hand side, Aquinas shuts out Portal 4-0. They're going to host Towns County. If you missed it this morning on the morning show, the interview with Clay Livingston led us off at 9 o'clock. So Clay Livingston, Towns County, they're on a bus, and they're heading to Augusta to take on Aquinas, left-hand side of the bracket. Right-hand side, Lake Oconee Academy, the top team. They beat Wheeler County, and they are traveling to Atlanta Classical. Atlanta Classical shut out Johnson County by the final of 3-0. Double-A girls. Ace Charter beat Landmark Christian 2-0, and so Ace Charter is going to travel to Fellowship Christian. Fellowship Christian shut out Pierce County 4-0. So left-hand side, Ace Charter and Fellowship Christian. Right-hand side, Model won at home against Savannah Arts 3-1. They travel to Mount Perrin Christian. They beat Fitzgerald in Ben Hill County by the final of 4-2. So it is Ace Charter at Fellowship, Model at Mount Perrin. AAA girls, once again, it was great to catch up with Judson Hamby just now. They're hosting Dawson County. You know about that matchup. That one's in Watkinsville tonight. Right-hand side of the bracket, the Wesleyan School, they are going to Columbus to take on the Columbus girls team. And so it's a busy 2 days for Columbus High School. Columbus hosting Wesleyan on the right-hand side. That's AAA girls. Quad A girls, it is Lovett who shut out Perry in Atlanta off of West Paces Ferry Road back on the 29th. They're traveling to Cherokee Bluff. Cherokee Bluff is a 6-0 winner over Whitewater, so Lovett catches up with Cherokee Bluff tonight. We caught up with Coach Padgett at the beginning of the show. Right-hand side, North Oconee beat Westminster. We caught up with Coach Grassmeyer after the Stars Mill win on the 30th, back on Friday. And so Coach Grassmeyer and his North Oconee group traveling to Westminster and Fritz Orr Field. That's the right-hand side of the bracket in Quad A girls. 5A girls, it is GAC, no problem with 4-seed Northside Columbus. Northside Columbus had 2 wins as a 4-seed, then went to GAC. GAC with the shutout there. Then at GAC goes to Jefferson to play at the JMT, the Jefferson Memorial Turf. We should be catching up with head coach Molly McCarty coming up in just a little bit to get her thoughts on GAC, what practice has been like ever since the win over Northgate that was on the SDH network. And you can listen to that one in the archive at soccerdownhere.mixlr.com, and you can listen to that match or any of our matches archived there as well. and you can listen to all of our matches right there at that site. So on the website, soccerdownhere.mixler.com, and you can also go on the web and go to the app and listen to all of the archive there as well. But Jefferson and Northgate, that was our match, one of our matchups from the previous round. Northgate loses that one to Jefferson 2-0 at Jefferson Memorial Turf. They host GAC tonight, and there's some levels of familiarity. Found out about that in the postgame show. McIntosh is traveling to Cambridge. McIntosh and the coaching Kreitners, 3-1 winners over Loganville at McIntosh. They're traveling to Cambridge. Cambridge has not given up a goal in the postseason. 7 in round 1, 6 in round 2, 4-0 over Greenbrier in round 3. So they've outscored their opponent 17-0 to get out of the low right-hand side of the bracket. McIntosh and Cambridge, right-hand side. GAC at Jefferson, left-hand side. That's 5A girls. 6A girls. Left-hand side, Lassiter beat St. Pius by the score of 2-1 at the Frank. And so Lassiter travels to Roswell. Roswell beat North Atlanta at Ray Manus by the final of 3-1. So Lassiter at Roswell, left-hand side of the bracket today. Marist had to go to PKs to beat Pope 5-4, 2-2 after 100 minutes, and then it ends up going to PKs. Marist wins at 5-4 in PKs. Then low right, Johns Creek shut out Riverwood. Riverwood made it through as a 4 seed for the first 2 rounds, knocking off Thomas County Central and Thomasville, going to Evans to knock off Lakeside Evans 2-0. Then Johns Creek gets the win 5-0 on the girls' side. So Johns Creek travels to Marist. Johns Creek, as a 4 seed out of Region 7, travels to Marist, who's the top team out of Region 4. So it is Lassiter at Roswell, Johns Creek at Marist. That's 6A. 7A girls, once again, where we are tonight, right-hand side of the bracket, North Gwinnett and Ryan Burkhart and the Bulldogs. They are traveling to West Forsyth. West Forsyth, 3-0 winners over Peachtree Ridge in round 1. 6-2 winners over Mountain View in round 2. 3-1 winners over North Paulding in round number 3. North Gwinnett, they beat Lambert 2-1 and a 1-4. They beat Mill Creek on our air 2-1 with a goal late. Then they beat Harrison 2-1 at Tom Robinson Memorial Stadium to get into the Final Four. North Gwinnett is going to West Forsyth, pregame 6:45 right there. And on the Mixler app, kickoff around 7 o'clock. Left-hand side of the bracket, Walton is at Tom Ryden Stadium to take on Buford. Walton comes out as the top team out of region number 5, beating Collins Hill 5-0. Walton beat Denmark 3-0. Then they beat Campbell at Raider Valley by the final of 4-1. So Walton advances, but because it's like seeds, everything drifts to the bottom. Buford beat Wheeler, shut them out in round number 1, shuts out Milton 1-0 in round number 2, shuts out Hillgrove in round number 3, 2-0. So it's 12-0 with the offense through the first 3 matches, and they're going to host Walton coming out of the upper left in 7A. So it is Walton at Buford, North Gwinnett at West Forsyth. That are the brackets. That is the brackets. That is the brackets. That are the brackets. That is the brackets. That is all of the brackets for the girls' side in the playoffs here on your semifinal Thursday. Once again, thanks to Coach Padgett for dropping by, and thanks to Coach Hamby for dropping by. Thanks to Coach Torres for dropping by, and thanks to who am I missing here? So it was Coach Hamby, it was Coach Torres, and Coach Galt for tonight. So 4 coaches down. We have 2 more scheduled. Molly McCarty, when she can get out of class and she can catch up with us, and trying to effort Coach Richardson out of Social Circle. And we'll find out about prolific scorers from Social Circle and just how many goals they have on the board. So hoping to catch up with Coach McCarty coming up in short order in Jefferson and find out what it's like to have another bullseye on your chest, the way that West Forsyth does. You know, West Forsyth, number 2 nationally, and number 2 in the state of Georgia in depending on the poll that you're looking at. And so you end up with West Forsyth with a bullseye. You end up with Jefferson on a bullseye. And so Jefferson got through the match at the Jefferson Memorial Turf on the turf surface adjacent to what's going on at the football stadium. And speaking of, she said 12:40. It's 12:39. You want to talk about, well, now it turned to 1240. So I filibustered to 1240, and so that way it works. We go to Jefferson and catch up with head coach Molly McCarty. Coach, thanks for dropping by.
Hey, how are y'all?
Doing all right. Rumor has it that you've got a match that you're preparing for. What's study hall been like getting ready for GAC?
Well, like any normal study hall for us, it definitely has a different feel knowing that, we're one of the last four standing. The focus was really there on Tuesday when we set them down and kind of presented everything. It's funny how, social media these days, they can go find all that they need to find on social media. So, but yeah, they're ready. We've prepared them. My job is done at this point. So they've got to do it.
And it's going to be at the Jefferson Memorial Turf, GAC at the JMT tonight. And there is some familiarity. For those that didn't catch the post-game show when we were there with you last time out, there is some familiarity with players on both sides. So I don't know how many state secrets there are going to be because of the intel that's coming from both sides. Your roster's got intel. Their roster has intel. I don't know how many state secrets they have left right now.
We both, a predominant number of our girls that are on both rosters play at the same club, and the style that they play is very similar to how we're going to play and how they're going to play. So it'll be a great matchup as far as, the soccer aspect of things, athletes on both sides, girls that, are going Division I on both sides of the roster. So, it's going to come down tonight to the mindset. It's going to come down to, who's going to want it a little bit more. I think we both want it. I mean, we've not gotten this far without wanting it. So I feel like the atmosphere for us is going to be big, kind of like what y'all experienced Monday night, except this is a bigger platform. Our program, which has been in existence since 2008, we have never hosted a Final Four game. So this is a first for us. I know it's not for GAC, but this is a first hosting situation for us, for our community.
So then what's the energy like leading into this first ever event? I mean, it's a 16-year-old program, and this is the first time ever. What's the energy been like?
Definitely just a little bit different. This isn't our first time in the Final Four, but knowing that this is here in our little city, in our little community on that turf field, and you saw kind of how small it was. We can pack the stands, we can pack the fence. The kids did the announcements this morning. Everybody's texting each other, encouraging everybody to be there tonight. Kids that we don't normally have come to a game have all said they're coming. They can't wait. So it's going to be a great event. The Dragon's going to be out. You saw we're not missing out on that. And plus, we've kind of sold it that this is our last home game. So we get the choice of our last home game, which is great. And, people that normally probably wouldn't be coming to a soccer game are going to be there tonight.
And in catching up with Jason off air when we saw the inflatable dragon, it reminded him of Argentina and what you see in the league divisions in Argentina with the inflatable mascot, and they come through. For those that follow hockey, it happens in San Jose with a shark's mouth and all these kinds of things. How much thought went into all of the atmosphere that's there? Because it is a very special place, and the turf in and of itself has grown from just being a practice surface for FOOTBALL to being a facility for FUTBOL and being a place that is difficult to play if you're a visitor.
Yeah, so we have the best athletic director in the nation. I tell him that all the time. He just has such a passion for what a high school athletic event needs to look like. And, his passion poured into many other behind the scene type people. I got to give a shout out to my husband. He's the one that helps, get the Dragon up. He has a posse of people that help him. Our announcing, our people that are in the press box, they gather this, our parents, we have many people outside, even of our little family that we have with soccer, that's going to attend this, including grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins. So for our mindset, this is big. We, again, like I told you the other night, we have a standard of excellence, and we want this to be excellent. You know, if this is somebody's first time coming to a Jefferson soccer game, we want to sell it to come back next year. And the Dragon is a big deal. We didn't get to put the Dragon up for our rec night, so because of the win. So we've actually put the Dragon up for every playoff game. You know, why not?
Okay.
So it's a good feel. It's kind of like, wait, we got to do this now every game going forward. That's what's going to be hard.
No doubt about it. Heather Richardson from Social Circle coming up in a couple of minutes. Wrapping up here with Coach Molly McCarty as Jefferson gets ready for GAC tonight at the Jefferson Memorial Turf. And I mean, it's been a fun experience for us to see how things have continued to grow and evolve there in Jefferson as well. It's one of those, I want to say it's a hidden gem, but I think to the soccer community, it may not necessarily be a hidden gem because of the successes and the environment that has been created over the last handful of seasons.
Yes, I would agree. You know, it has been a hidden gem, but you know, we being number one going into this game and predominantly most of the season, which we've really not pushed that as an issue. John, we have a target. You know, the target is on our back to perform. And our girls, I've not seen them quit yet. And will we see them quit tonight? Absolutely not. They will fight for everything that they can fight for tonight. And that in itself is what promotes our program. Not necessarily the result is going to be that character. What have they gained from this outside of the soccer field? And that's what.
Oh, she moved. Well, Coach, thanks for dropping by. It's great to catch up with you. Great to see what's going on there at Jefferson. GAC and Jefferson tonight at the Jefferson Memorial Turf. The inflatable dragon. We love it. It's all good. Be good. We'll catch up soon. There's Molly McCarty, head coach of Jefferson. So that's coach number 5. So we bring in coach number 6. Time for Heather Richardson, and we visit Social Circle.
Totally can.
And it's time for Coach Richardson to drop in with Talk Social Circle. And, Coach, once again, it's a semifinal. It's a semifinal Thursday, and you're a part of it. So what's it been like getting ready for this matchup on the left-hand side of the bracket?
It's been exciting for the girls. They, you know, game after game, we just take it one game at a time. And they're like, oh, what's next, Coach? What's next? So they're super excited that we've made it to the Final Four.
When you put 8 on the board against East Lawrence, I know that you know, we talk about this. What can you learn about yourself in a game that has a margin of victory that's more than just 1 or 2? What can you learn about yourself in a large margin game? Well,
in a large margin game like that, I think one thing about it is it was 8-1, but it definitely wasn't an easy game. It was those girls from East Lawrence are extremely athletic and very aggressive, and so we had to, you know, fight through that. And so we definitely had to fight through some things. But we do need to understand that the game that we're coming into tonight is definitely not going to be a large margin game.
When you look at Mount Vernon, I always like to ask about Study Hall. So what has Study Hall been like getting ready for a Mount Vernon team that they're the 3 seed coming out of their region, but they beat Metter. They shut them out. They went on the road to knock off Tallulah Falls, and then they go to Tryon. So they're road tested. They've won some games by large margins, and now they're coming to your place.
Well, I've been watching a whole lot of film on them just to see how they play. We didn't get a chance to play them last year because they were on the other side of the bracket. But just a lot of film and understanding how good their midfield is, how well they pass. Just a very good team. You know, they won the state championship last year. So we've been doing a lot of studying and a lot of talking and understanding that if we want to come out as the winner tonight, we better make sure that we deliver on the things that we have to do.
When folks kind of are drifting into this time of season, and they'll sit there and they'll look at names and people that they might not have had the chance to look at when it comes to teams on the field. When I mention Peyton Brooks to you, what comes to mind?
She is absolutely my game-winning goal scorer. without Peyton Brooks, we don't get this far this season. Because the game that she had against Whitfield Academy, we won 4-3, and she scored all 4 of those goals. Just a big time player, and just does so much for us, and a very quiet leader. Doesn't say very much, but just does her job. And if she ever looks mad, the only thing she's mad at is herself, to be honest. She's just a great girl.
54-26, if the numbers are correct. Do you even get the chance to enjoy what she's doing out there? Do you get the chance to kind of stand back and sit there and go, man, this is a very, very special player that scored north of 50 goals and has helped out on 26 others this year?
I do try to. In the heat of it, I'm just thankful it's happening, and then I can take a step back and I can be like, wow, that was really cool. She just did that, and she did it for her team, and of course, and she'll tell you quicker than anybody that she does a lot of great things, but the players behind her are doing a fabulous job, and they get it to her. I mean, she doesn't dribble it all the way from the goal up to the other goal. We have a solid players behind her that get it to her.
And at the same time, it's not just all, Peyton Brooks when it comes to all of the numbers. You've got Alana Ferguson, who's giving you 18. You've got, other players that are in double digits as well. It's not just, while Peyton Brooks has scored a lot and there is a focus there, trying to do the math, 3, 6, 9, you've got 10 goal scorers this year that have added up to that 103 goals that you put in the back of the net this season.
Right, and super proud of all of them. I have they create a lot. I have a strong midfield. Alana Ferguson has great speed, and she if she doesn't score as many goals as Peyton is, but she's creating a lot of things, that helps Peyton score. And Faith Young just works so hard in the center midfield. I don't know if she's leading on assists. She was last year, but she's just a great assist player, and her and Macy are our corner kick header winners. They do great on corner kicks, getting the ball in there.
When it comes to freshmen and underclassmen that come in to replace graduating players, how long does it take for them to understand what they're looking for from you when it comes to the end product offensively and defensively at Social Circle? Or are you still having to coach the freshmen and the sophomores and the first-time players this late into the season so that everything comes off as flawlessly as you would like for it to?
I think it takes a little while, and it honestly depends on their skill level. Some of them it takes a little bit longer than the others. I have a 10th grader this year who really has come into her own, and she was an offensive player last year, but I've kind of turned her into a defensive player, which she wasn't super excited about at the beginning of the year. But Cambry Morrow has done a great job defensively for us, and she actually just saw me in the hallway, and she's like, Coach, I'm in this group chat. Look at all these people in this group chat, and they're all coming to the game tonight. So it's pretty cool. She's definitely one of the younger ones that have learned what this is all about.
So then for someone who doesn't know what it's all about, and I'm not necessarily talking about somebody that wears a soccer jersey, but might see it in the paper, might see what Social Circle's doing and having the consistent successes that you are, how would you explain what soccer means to Social Circle for someone who has never seen it and might just be walking into it the first time tonight?
I think I would explain it. It's a sport that we love, but it's more than that. It's just the hard work that they put into it. It's the process that leads to where we are now. Without the 30-degree weather, without the pouring down rain, I mean, none of this is just, walking into it at the end. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But if you think back from the very beginning, where we started and where we are now, it's been a long road, and it's more than just soccer. So the people who don't even understand soccer, they're getting excited about it now because they understand how long of a season it's been. So I think I would explain it really just as forging through something that is very rewarding.
16-2-1, 6-0 in region play, top 200 nationally, top 50 in the state of Georgia, and you host Mount Vernon tonight. Looking forward to a fantastic environment there in Class A Division I as Social Circle is hosting Mount Vernon. Left-hand side of your brackets as you fill them out and pin. Coach Richardson, it's great to always catch up with you. Good luck tonight. May everything be safe. May you have an incredible crowd. Good luck tonight against the Mountain. We'll see you on the other side.
Great. Thank you for having me.
There we go. Heather Richardson, the head coach at Social Circle. And there you go. 6 coaches, 6 in 54 minutes. And so that's what it's all about tonight. So that is semifinal Thursday. And tomorrow we'll catch you up on semifinal Friday and see how many coaches we can have between noon and 1 o'clock. And just so you know, we'll go over the boys. We'll go over the boys brackets, but we'll let you know what's going on there and get you ready for semifinal Friday, because we did catch up with Rey Torres, the head coach at Columbus, and find out what's up with them as they are getting ready for their playoff matchup. So tomorrow we'll go from Class A and we'll work our way up to 7A. Class A D1, Mount Vernon at Paideia Whitfield at Atlanta International. Boys, Class A D2, Atlanta Classical is at Atco, and Georgia Military is at Christian Heritage. Great to catch up with Bobby Jaworski yesterday as they're getting ready for their trip to Christian Heritage in Dalton. AA. Fellowship is at Toombs. Providence Christian is at Model. AAA boys, Bremen is at Hebron Christian, and Oconee County, once again, we caught up with Coach Torres. Oconee County travels to Columbus to take on Columbus High. That's AAA. Quad A. Northwest Whitfield is at Johnson Gainesville at the Dungeon. Holy Innocents is at Westminster and Fritz Orr Field. 5A, Midtown is at McIntosh. Decatur is at number 4 Cass. 6A boys, it is Sprayberry at Glen Academy, North Atlanta at River Ridge. That will be our match day 34 tomorrow from River Ridge. 6:45 start or 7:15 start. I think it's a 7:30 start. 7:15 start, 7:30 kick. 7A boys, it is on the left-hand side, Archer at Campbell, Kennesaw Mountain at Discovery. And so start times tonight, just so everything is laid out for you. And if you are near any of the matchups tonight and you can go, please go. And it's going to be a great environment in each of these locations. And so it's going to be really cool here on a semifinal Thursday to see what's going on. Mount Vernon Social Circles at 5, as is Asen Fellowship. Model and Mount Perrin just before 6 o'clock. Johns Creek and Marist is at 6. Also, Wesleyan and Columbus is at 6. Lovett and Cherokee Bluff is at 6:30. McIntosh and Cambridge is at 6:30. North Gwinnett, West Forsyth at 7. Paideia, Atlanta International, and Cambridge and Loganville still looking for start times. So let's workshop this before we get out of here, and so we can let you know where all of these matchups are and what times they are as we go. So Cambridge girls soccer, free Kona ice. Man, they had a free Kona ice on May the 2nd. Wow, that's cool. Cambridge had Kona ice, and I got distracted. So Thursday against McIntosh at Cambridge, 6:30 start. Free Kona ice and entry to the first 100 students at the Final Four for Cambridge women's soccer. So Cambridge McIntosh, CHS Stadium, 6:30 tonight for Cambridge and for McIntosh. So that means the only game that we're missing is Paideia and Atlanta International. So let's see if we can come up with a start time for Paideia before we go. And then that way we'll have all of our start times and let you know what's going on all around the planet and get you ready for things here in the state of Georgia with the matchups with Paideia and Atlanta International still listed as a TBA on the Max Preps website. So we'll go to the Paideia school and see if we can come up with team details about the Pythons. So I'm going to view the full calendar here. And it says Friday, May 3rd, varsity practice, 5:30 at Avondale Stadium. All right, so varsity girls, semifinals, Avondale Stadium, 5:30. So Paideia Atlanta International's at 5:30, and the other matchup, Cambridge and Loganville, is at 6:30. Latest start is our start on the air, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kick, North Gwinnett and West Forsyth from coming. 17-0-2, 19-0-2. It's going to be a great matchup on the SDH network here later today. So once again, how do you listen to the game, you may ask? Well, here's how. On the web, soccerdownhere.mixler.com, soccerdownhere.mixler.com. That's the web. You can download the Mixler app, MIXLR, do a search for Soccer Down Here, follow, set your notifications. When we're live, you know that we're live. We're going to be in 2 places at once tomorrow. The morning show at 9:05. Soccer's in session live, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente at noon to 1. Then it is going to be the matchup with North Atlanta and River Ridge. That's going to be on the network. Atlanta United 2, NYCFC 2 will be on the network as well. We'll let you know about the logistics of that in short order. But that is another go-round of Soccer's in Session Live, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente, setting you up for semifinals Thursday here with the official GHSA soccer playoffs. Thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to Coach Padgett. Thanks to Coach Torres. Thanks to Coach Galt. Thanks to Coach Hamby. Thanks to Coach McCarty. And thanks to Coach Richardson. So that meant it was Cherokee Bluff, Columbus, West Forsyth, Oconee County, Jefferson, Social Circle. 6 coaches, 60 minutes. Great buzz through. Great to catch up with all of them and a great catch up to see all of you. So once again, 6:45 tonight, pregame, 7 o'clock. Match starts. Jason will have the call. Maddie and I will have a pre, half, and post, and we'll walk you through it and get you ready for the finals in the girls' classification starting the middle of next week. So, mucha plati, all play it safe. Thanks for hanging out with us for another go-round of Soccer's in Session Live, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Since it's the end of the show, that means I get to do this. Enjoy your matchups across the board tonight on a semifinal Thursday in the GHSA. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you at the games.